Hello. Well, we are Sornia, of course. And what a delight to have this opportunity to come through with hopefully some encouragement, not discouragement. Things can seem bleak, they can seem strange, they can seem out of your control. And that's part of the illusion, feeling you have no control and it's out of your control. That's a tricky, what do we say, feeling that you, in this, the philosophies, let's say, or the spiritual ways of looking at things is that you have free will and your free will responds in a certain way to situations. And in order to comfort yourselves, you say when things are difficult that are happening on a global scale, that they're out of your control, right? You all do this. Remember, we're not here to judge. We're here to talk about this, to bring things to your awareness, the nuanced expressions and other things that are very deep in your subconscious, ways in which you express yourselves, which equals your frequency and your vibration, what you are admitting. So we want you to look at that. We want you to be confident enough in your ability to decipher this world that you are navigating your way through, and confident enough to do it with or without our assistance. And this is the chapter or phase, or however you want to put it, the doorway that you're all walking through. Yes, we will be here to support you, but you're going to have to do this kind of on your own. So you have been. A lot of you are like, well, I already do. I know that, when something comes up, I have to manage it on my own. True. But we are here to energetically support you for the coming weeks, maybe months, but more like weeks. It will be strong energies that we, you and I and the others here have all agreed upon, that these energies, you call them that, these energies, these are forces that we create to help push the awakening, I guess, to motivate. It's not push, let's say to motivate. And this next wave, if you will, is going to be one where you're not going to be able to easily understand what your next steps are. You're not going to easily be able to fall back on your knowledge you have gained up until now. It's almost as if what we've done, all of us here have decided that you will be somewhat blind in the human sense, okay? It's almost like you're going to be stepping back to where you were a long time ago. And some of you are probably already experiencing this. And you're not going to remember your tools. What do we mean by your tools, right? That you have free will, that you are the one that's choosing. And this thing about you have no control of the things that are outside of you. Is that really true? Or are you part of creating that which is outside of you, right? So all of the ways that you have used, the tools, we'll say, might not come to you and they might not work. You might not remember them. It's necessary. You may feel less of a connection to us, to God, to Source, Creator. You may feel even more on your own. It may be hard to connect with loved ones, people that you genuinely care about. You may feel like you can't, and it won't be entirely that way because you do need the support systems, but a lot of you think of yourselves as being newly born into a world where you have to navigate once again the waters of life, the flow of life. Now, you might all be going, what does this mean, Sornia? You'll find out, definitely. The important thing to remember here is you are not who you were when you were first born into this incarnation. And let's not talk about all of the timelines that you are also experiencing. This applies to all of you, the entirety of you. But you're going to have most of your awareness of this disconnect in this time frame that we've been calling your root time frame, the one that we are interacting in now, so to speak. Not so to speak, that's it. So, some of you might already feel this way, feel as if you have stepped back in time and you're feeling memory. The memory is causing the emotional responses. Some of you don't have the memory. You just have the memory of the emotional response. So there's the difference, right? Some of you are oblivious, but you're miserable. This is all root chakra. This is all from the root chakra. That's where we're going with this. And we told you that the root chakra was going to be the next chakra. Some of you may have thought it was going to be easier. This one is going to be, well, we don't like to put it out there. It's going to be the toughest one because who knows? Some of you might sail right through this. Others will be struggling. Some of you are already struggling because we can see it, and that's why we're talking about it. So we will only be able to share with you in these sessions what will assist you with what you already become aware of. Which seems unfair. But we have to do it this way. You've agreed to it. If this is confusing for you, you'll understand in the next month or so what we mean by this. Some of you already know because you're already going through this. You have the emotions that are tied into the root chakra. And each one of you is going to be different, of course. And it's going to feel as if you made no progress for some. And we're just tossing some things out there. That you've stepped back. Some of you are already probably feeling this, that you don't recognize yourself. Like, who am I? You've chosen to block access to higher wisdom, not permanently, temporarily, in order to conjure up, if you will, the emotions necessary for these emotions to be understood, to be cleansed, if you will. Some of you look at it in that way, cleansed, to be loved, to be understood. That's what's happening. And because the root chakra, yes, it's all part of your bodily system, and it is metaphysical also, but it is grounded into the earthly experience more than any other chakra. Any other chakra. So we anticipate moving forward that some of you are going to feel scared. Well, you're already, a lot of you, feeling very alone. That's part of it. And, well, let's talk about that a minute, because it's important, especially in those that receive these messages. You are living in an environment at a time when there is the expectation of togetherness and joy and giving, your gift giving, your holidays, right? Being with family. And you're going to have the expectations that you had as a younger person come forward in the way of an emotion or emotions. And because of that, you're going to be feeling this loneliness, right? That a lot of you felt when you first came into this incarnation. That's tied into that childhood experience. And you may attribute it, if you're able, to the way in which you were experiencing your environment. But what is really happening here, and this is a clue that we can give you that will help you, is that you are going to the original source of that very feeling of being alone. So we're talking about being alone. The other things will come in, your other emotions, but we're talking about the sense of being alone. And each one of you does feel alone in one way or another. We know that. You've been talking to us. Each of you has this, because you are all missing the unity and the sense of community that you have in what you call home. And you have all been separated, not separated physically, but separated with your minds, right? Because you all think often that you've been separated physically. But think about it, you've been separated only in your consciousness. So you're going to have the opportunity to go back to the original point, that source that created that emotion. Some of you, most of you, it will actually be the time that you chose to incarnate into the third dimensional reality and feel for the first time ever a complete disconnection from the truth of who you are. So we're talking thousands and thousands of years ago, right? A long time ago. All of you will have it a little bit differently. And it will be to your benefit to know this much. But you're not going to be able to access a lot of the tools that you already have stored in you for a period of time, not as punishment. You have them there. You won't feel like you have them there. You won't feel that at all. So you'll say, yes, Sornia said they're there, but I don't feel it. What's going on? And that's the purpose of this time that you will be experiencing a type of darkness. And for those who are hearing these messages, it aligns with it becoming darker earlier. Your days have shortened. A lot of you are retreating anyway, pulling in after, you have your festivities. You'll feel yourself pulling in. You know how it is. We are here to share with you isn't to frighten you. Some of you may have a lot of fear come up, fear of that being lost. A lot of you are feeling lost. And it goes back to that first time that you alighted into this third dimensional reality. You might be asking, well, what's the purpose of being blind to all of this? Like, how does that serve us? How it serves in the way that you will then be able to peel off those layers or bring up, however you describe your limiting beliefs, your fears, your stuck and stored emotions are going to all come up. And if you approach them, we all agreed, if you approach these feelings, these emotions, with all your tools ready at hand and feeling your source, you'll have your tools, but feeling your source so strongly, I can just do this. You won't do it to the degree that it needs to be done. As we've said to you many times, those of you in human form at this time, you're the pioneers, you're the foot soldiers, you're down in the trenches. So once again, you are paving an energetic pathway to a next expansion of the consciousness for yourselves, but for humanity. Remember, you're doing this not just for yourselves, but for humanity. You'll feel frustrated at times. You may not be able to access that knowing, that comfort that you get from knowing the purpose behind things. That's what we're saying here in the blind. Remember what it was like when you were young. You all are probably already feeling this. You're being brought back into circumstances or the emotion of the circumstances that are the trigger or the emotion of the circumstances that caused you to feel in this incarnation what you're feeling, whatever that is. These emotions are powerful. They have a lot of energy stored in them. So if you approach them with the tools you have, you use your tools, If you approach them with that full of understanding of your connection to source, you won't be able to discern all of which needs to be cleared and loved. All the little nuanced energies that no longer serve humanity, you or humanity, or anyone, because you would miss them. That will be taken care of. They've got free will. You will go through these experiences feeling that disconnect so that you can push through and get it all. Get all the information that is needed by you to forge the path forward for the rest of humanity. So not all of you who are hearing these messages have agreed. You may come on board after hearing this message. We don't know. But many of you have. It's all in agreement. So we just want that you succeed at what is, and will be a time that will challenge your faith in yourself and in humanity. Is humanity worth saving? Seems pretty lofty. Worth saving. Is what you're doing worth the way humanity acts? Are you sacrificing so much? Because all of you really have sacrificed quite a bit. You're far away from home. And you're living, experiences here that are very difficult. But what holds you to the course and you keep moving forward and you don't give up is the fact that you're not just doing this for yourselves, you're doing this for all of humanity, and you feel that. You feel that dedication, you feel that devotion, and you feel a deep love. But that's going to be tested in some of you. Is it worth it? Will humanity ever change? Or will they always be suckers? We've heard that from some of you. Just so you know, not our words. It's not bad. Remember that. Those that chose this experience have the strength to do it. You may not feel that strength, especially if you are not feeling the strong connection to Source, God, Creator. So you may not feel us. We hope that you at least feel your own sense of who you are. We're not sure. Remember, you're going to be feeling so much of what you felt in this incarnation at its beginnings. And a lot of you don't have memories. You don't remember being born. You don't remember how you were treated as an infant. You don't need to remember, but there are emotions there that will remind you. And all we can say is it's already started. Maybe some of you are thinking bad timing. We're saying it's perfect timing because you are being supported by what we've been able to create in terms of energy that will align with you, because that's what we do. But we will be more in the shadows just for a temporary period of time. It's not like we're not there. Remember that. And it's not like you are physically not in your true home. You are. Just your consciousness doesn't know that. All these timelines that you are experiencing, we talked about that before. You're split and you have all these other timelines. Some of you, many more than others. A lot of them have collapsed. You've done that, but they're still, they're still there. These all are being affected. It has to be this way in order for you and everyone that you have devoted yourself to, meaning humanity, that you, as many of you, can stand up, know who you are, speak your truth, be your truth, and be in your home, be your home, no matter where your perception lies. Right now, your perception is limited, and it is in this third dimensional density. But you have it in other realities as well. But this is the one that's grabbing the most amount of attention from you. I can guarantee you that. But it's the one most in need of that care, of that attention. We are hopeful that this will not need to be long-lived, but it will be a birthing of a new way of living, hopefully. Your consciousness is going to remember more. You say expand. You are already that expanded being, right? So your consciousness will have it. What stored in you will be made aware. We don't want to go on much longer. Hopefully, this has made sense. We will be back again shortly. We're not going to not share what we can with you. But keep knowing that everything is under your control. Everything. Ours, yours. We're all doing this together. And that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And that you will see this in your lifetimes. Without a doubt. The progression, the movement forward, or the expansion, the ascension, all of that, people freeing themselves and awakening has grown much greater than we had anticipated. So it's working. You're all working very hard for that. And it's showing itself. Okay. That is all for now. We are Sornia. We love you very, very much. Goodbye.